and welcome to Ocean News. My name is Finn Riley and I'm live from the London studio. We bring you the latest developments from around the globe, alongside in-depth coverage of the stories. Let's dive right into the headlines. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen welcomed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to Brussels, where the two leaders joined a meeting of European leaders focused on security and Ukraine's future ties with the bloc. Zelensky is scheduled to continue his diplomatic tour with a visit to Washington on Monday for talks with US President Donald Trump. The Israeli military announced Saturday it will begin relocating Gaza residents from combat zones to the south of the enclave, providing tents and shelter equipment through the Kerem Shalom, crossing with UN and international aid partners. The move precedes a planned offensive to seize northern Gaza City, which Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called Hamas's last stronghold. While Israel says the relocation is meant to ensure civilian safety, the UN and Palestinian officials warned it could worsen the already dire humanitarian crisis, stressing that no area in Gaza is truly safe. Defense Minister Israel Katz said battle plans are still being finalized as Israeli forces intensified strikes in Gaza City neighborhoods like Ziton and Shagaya, where residents reported heavy shelling and explosions. Residents in Yemen's capital Sana'a reported hearing at least 2 loud explosions early Sunday near a major power station. The exact cause of the blasts remains unclear for now. Thousands of Christians marched in more than 50 Honduran cities on Saturday in a nationwide extensive prayer for Honduras, ahead of the November 30th presidential election. In Tegucigalpa, participants carried national flags while praying for peace and fair elections. The event, organized by the Episcopal Conference and the Evangelical Fraternity, comes amid rising political tensions with the country's main parties, trading accusations and fueling public distrust ahead of the vote. Pope Leo XIV will host his first digital encounter with young Catholics in the United States during the upcoming National Catholic Youth Conference. Around 15,000 participants from Catholic youth movements nationwide are expected to join the 45-minute live dialogue, where the pontiff will engage directly with them, listening to their concerns and share his message of faith and guidance. The event marks a new step in the Vatican's efforts to connect with younger generations through modern technology and interactive platforms. Bolivians cast their ballots on Sunday in a pivotal general election marked by surging inflation and the absence of former President Evo Morales, who is barred from running. With annual inflation at 23%, the highest in 4 decades, frustration has mounted against Morales' Movement for Socialism, MAS, which risks losing power for the first time in nearly 20 years. Opposition conservatives Samuel Doria Medina, a business magnate, and former President Jorge Tuto Quiroga lead opinion polls, but neither command more than 30% support, while nearly a quarter of voters remain undecided. If no candidate wins more than 40% with a 10-point lead, the election will go to a runoff on October 19th. Alongside the presidency, voters will also elect 26 senators and 130 deputies, with the new government taking office on November 8th. Rescue operations in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa entered a 3rd day on Sunday after flash floods killed at least 314 people and injured 156, according to the Provincial Disaster Management Authority. The KP government declared an emergency as torrential rains swept through Buna, Swat, Shangla and Mansehra and other districts, destroying homes, schools and infrastructure. Buna was the hardest hit, with more than 200 dead. Officials warned that dozens of victims may still be trapped under debris as rain continues to hamper relief efforts, with nearly 2,000 rescue workers deployed across 9 districts. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned on Sunday that ending the Gaza war prematurely would guarantee a repeat of the October 7th attacks, insisting that only Hamas's defeat can secure Israel's future. Speaking at the start of a cabinet meeting, Netanyahu rejected calls to halt the fighting, saying Hamas seeks to regroup and rearm if Israeli forces withdraw. His remarks came as Israelis launched a nationwide strike demanding a deal for the release of hostages and an end to the conflict, while protests and road blockages spread across cities. Those were the headlines. Stay with us as we delve into each story in greater detail after a brief pause.